All right. Well, good afternoon again, Andrew. I know we've been chatting for a couple minutes. Thanks for hopping in with me. I appreciate you. Um, we kind of have a weird situation of how we met. It's kind of not normal from the first two guests that I've had. So
Yeah, I don't work with you, and I'm not your dad.
true. I would say working with me is kind of close.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
For anybody who doesn't know, Andrew was actually a recent customer of mine that we got up and rolling. Before we dive into like that type of thing, first of all, welcome to Poor Decisions with Dylan, where we talk about some bad takes, have some good drinks, and make some poor decisions. So first thing, I know you're sipping on something already. What do we got in the glass? What do we
So
drinking?
so now I know because this is what's interesting. So I listened to your I really enjoyed the first episode with Brandon.
Yeah.
Brendan. I don't know how to say his name. Brennan. Okay.
Yep.
It's close enough. Whatever.
My wife
He
messes
can
it
deal.
up too.
And it's just funny because like you guys are both from like Midwest and then moved to Arizona, and you're just like there's nothing to do in the Midwest, and we love Arizona, all this stuff to do. And I spent 4.5 years in Arizona, and I moved to the Midwest, and I freaking love it here, and I don't miss the desert a bit. Like I'm like complete opposite. But this is a glass of Milo's lemonade, which I don't think you can get in Arizona anymore. But this is
I don't know if you can, but I used to always get it back when I lived in Iowa.
It's fantastic. It's
Their
left over from Friday's shop lunch, but we're still
Their
chooching on it.
sweet tea. They make a lemonade as well too, I think, right?
Yeah, this is the lemonade. It's like it's tart, it's delicious.
You just said that for some reason. I was
It's
just
magnificent.
thinking tea.
Yeah, their sweet tea is also like it's fantastic.
Well,
it's like
what'd you say?
sorry. I was just gonna say like it's great because it's also the ingredients list is like 3 things. It's like lemon juice, sugar, water.
It's not a bunch of synthetic stuff.
And it's not like really expensive. It's just like it's cheap and it's good and it's not the worst thing in the world for you. You're not drinking cancer. I mean, I'm sure you are. Like we all are, right? But
the microplastics.
Oh, I know. I saw an interesting study or it was an article that I read that was talking about the big study that they did that was like microplastics are in everything. They went back and redid it and found out that like 80 to 90% of the microplastics they were testing came from the gloves of the people doing the experiment.
That's hilarious.
It's like throws out all of this science because of a botched study that we just put way too much weight in. So I know there is microplastics. That's a real thing. I know that I mean, it's a red Solo cup, right? Like it's not even, it's a great value. I'm a Walmart guy.
Dude, I love Great Value. I'm surprised I don't have something Great Value sitting next to me, actually. I'm trying to look around on my cluttered desk. You would understand the Fry's reference in like Fry's grocery store since you lived in Arizona, right?
Yeah, I lived there. Well, actually, I'm originally from Southern California, so for me, Fry's is an electronics store, and like this is going to date me, right? But like Fry's used to be like this big, like think like what Radio Shack used to be. Maybe not quite Radio Shack, like Radio Shack on like mega steroids. Like it was this huge store that all of your tech people would go to and buy all the. I don't even know.
So
I'm
like
not that
Micro
fun.
Center. Do you know what a Micro Center is? Like kind of like that.
Not familiar with what that is.
Micro Center is, I think, probably about the same thing. Is like imagine Best Buy, but only tech or computer based like stuff. Where it's like basically just like you can walk in there and buy a million different computer parts all in one spot.
Yeah, it was nuts. I don't even know if they still exist anymore. But anyway, so like in my head, it's like Fry's was like an electronics store, and it was like I think like Best Buy, Radio Shack's just this giant, but like the size of a Costco. Like like huge stores. And maybe this is because I was 10 and everything was big then. You know,
that could be the thing.
But yeah, so moving to Arizona and there's like a Fry's grocery store. I'm like, what is this? This is different. And
so I've been shopping there a little bit frequently just because it's so close. It's like 3 blocks from my house. It's just convenient. Walmart's still the best bang for your buck, and we do Walmart delivery a lot. So it's easy, but Fry's had a really good deal. I actually just started. I'm going to Europe this summer, and I'm about 50-ish days out. And I was like, I should probably maybe lose a little bit of weight and try something new and maybe look pretty when I go there. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to cut out alcohol for the next 50 days, which is different for this podcast when my logo is literally a whiskey glass.
Right, of course.
I got a Barks Zero Sugar root beer here.
Barks is solid.
I'm a big Barks guy, but when I saw that, so I'm gonna crack this. I was like, I have to have something like. I wouldn't say I'm an alcoholic. That's definitely not the case. But I love having a drink after work one day, like having a pour of whiskey, not every day, but maybe 2 or 3 days a week. It's like my go-to, and I was like, I need something to fill that craving of just like a smoker. Think of like smoking or like nicotine pouches, like gum or something like that. Just that sensation of chewing or mine having something to drink.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up a window here real quick so we can pull up ChatGPT and just ask it exactly what the definition of an alcoholic is. And I feel like
Just
that's
gonna have a big
important
old
thing.
picture of my face. The company lore is that Dylan loves to drink and have fun. So great company culture, that's for sure.
I don't know that that's like some like deep secret. Like anybody that knows you, I feel like knows that. Like Dylan's a fun guy. Like, have you seen the beard? Like, have you seen what I can grow here? Like, this is actually embarrassing.
I'm definitely a fun individual. I sometimes go too hard and have too much fun and make a fool of myself. But the awesome part about it is I don't really get embarrassed. It may have been in an embarrassing moment, but I'm not embarrassed myself per se. Like,
that's the beauty about being like a confident person is you're like, oh, well, that happened, whatever, and you move on, right? And some people are like, oh my gosh, I wonder who saw me, and it's like nobody cares. They're like, honestly, and I this is a hot take, but everybody's an NPC. Like I know there's real people out there, and I'm not denying the humanity of people, right? But it's like when you walk in public, you know, you can walk up to someone and be like, hey man, a good Sunday morning to you, and it's like Tuesday night, right? And they're just gonna like nothing.
Not a single. It's like honestly, you said Costco earlier. One big thing that I hate about people is I feel like no matter where you are walking through any kind of grocery store, or shopping center, or anything, nobody knows how to walk through a store. It's like they're all NPCs, and
dude,
it's an aisle. You walk it like it's a street. We're not in Europe. You walk on the right side of the aisle. You say excuse me. Yeah, you don't walk the opposite way.
Right. There's a right and a wrong way to do it. Although I don't know if you are old enough to remember COVID. COVID was wild. When like Walmart was putting like arrows on the floor and like you go down this aisle this way and so we can social distance and all the stuff that came along with that. And I, as you know, my little act of civil disobedience was to go down those aisles the wrong direction. Like just to stick it to the man.
Though. That took thought process though. An NPC couldn't think about. They just do it
exactly. Yeah,
I was actually still at the dealer. I was still service advisor during COVID. I had only.
Oh yeah, what did you do before working for the tech startup that's not a startup anymore?
I asked our CEO John. I asked John about that, and he said he kind of reiterated what I said was we're just about there. Like. Still, it's that weird gray area. But no, so I started my career, like professional career, as a service advisor. I dropped out of college after a year.
My man.
One, yep. I was like, screw this, and stuck around with my girlfriend, now wife at the time, while she was finishing her degree. So kudos to her. And once we got done with school, we moved back home to like the Omaha metro area. I was like, I got to find a job. Like, I need to figure out something.
We need money.
My stepdad has been a service manager for like 20, 30 years at a dealer. And he's like, dude, I think you'd be a killer advisor. I think you'd like it, but I'm not going to hire you. I don't want to work with family. And I was like, respect. So I probably applied to almost every dealer in Omaha, which isn't that many.
So I've never actually been to Omaha. How many? What is that, like 3?
No, the group I was at, actually, we had 3 dealerships ourselves. So thank you very much. It was, I would say, probably close to 30, honestly, 20 to 30. But only like 4 groups across those. So your options are limited if you get X-nayed from one or the other.
Sure.
It was the last one I applied to, basically, and it was the only one that called me back out of 2. It was a BMW store, which like I couldn't get hired
That's
at.
Rough.
I couldn't get hired at a Chevy or Kia or any store, but BMW would call me back, and I was like, "How does this work out?" And my mind thinking, I'm like, "Oh, it's some ultra luxury, yada yada yada."
No.
Yeah. Then you work on their
Sorry.
car. Then you work on their cars, and you're like, ah.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it just so happened. So I started July 15th, 2019, and so yeah, that's less than 8 months later, COVID hits. So that was my experience. I was there for about 3 years, I think, and then moved to Arizona. Got a job at a Penske store. I worked at a Ferrari and Maserati dealership here in Phoenix and Scottsdale.
Fun. I guess. I feel like how are the clients? So like we're
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know me, my name is Andrew. Thank you, Dylan, for introducing me. I super appreciate that. I own a small startup automotive and diesel repair shop in the thriving, sprawling metropolis of Ozark, Missouri. Yeah, so I just pulled it up. Omaha's city population as of the 2020 census was 486,000 people, and if you drive in an
metro population.
Oh boy. That's a good question. If you go like the metro area that I'm in, like you go like hour driving distance in any direction, like the total people in that circle is like 200, maybe 250,000 people. Like the town that my shop is in is 38,000 people. The town that I live in is like 2,000 people. And that's like 15 minutes up the road. And it's all
in your Ozark, Missouri, but you corrected me. You're not like Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri. Like
correct. Lake of the Ozarks is like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours north of me.
Okay.
So we have lakes that are in the Ozarks, but the Lake of the Ozarks is north.
Okay, that makes
we
sense.
Still have
really.
We still have all of the meth. We still have all of the shady, all the crime. Like, you know that. I don't want to say corrupt cops, but like
everybody's just messing around.
It's a bit of a good old boy system around here, and when you drive a crummy car, which, for the record, I do. It's kind of a magnet for getting pulled over, even though I'm not doing anything wrong, because every single cop looks at my car, which is a clapped out 94 Acura Integra that was black, but like the hood and the roof are faded to like primer color, so they're kind of like gray, and the passenger door is silver. So like when you're sitting on the side of the road and this car goes by, you're like, there is no way that clown has insurance. Joke's on you, I've got better insurance than anybody I know. But
who do you use?
For what? I have a lot of insurance for a lot of things. Car insurance? Car insurance is currently with State Farm for car insurance.
That's my favorite.
Which was not because I really like State Farm. I was previously with Safeco. But the thing was, when we moved, so I'm in Missouri. We moved to Missouri from Arizona, and we bought a 10-acre hayfield and built a house. I needed an insurance provider that could insure a construction project, and nobody was calling me back, and so I took a referral from my bank to the State Farm agent, and she helped me, and so we just put all of our insurance with her.
Going backwards, I forgot what we were talking about. Really, we kind of went off on a big tangent.
Cars, careers, you working at a dealership. Oh, we were talking about the kind of clientele, that you see at these high end dealerships, your BMW, your Maserati, your that sort of dealerships. Like in my head, everybody who has more money than me is just an arrogant like prick. Like I don't even want to be around them, right? Yep. So this person that drives a Maserati, I would assume, comes in and is already yelling at you, why isn't my car done? And like you haven't even gotten their keys yet.
It's pretty accurate. But my dealer was very bad. We're obviously they're far and few between. It's not like you have 4 Ferrari Maserati dealers in the city where you have 40 Chevy dealerships in the city. So there could be, I'd have a ton of customers that would come out of town like 4 to 6 hours away because the nearest thing was LA. Beverly Hills area, stuff like that. So yes and no. I feel like what I really liked about, and both, like, so BMW and then Ferrari Maserati were two very separate, or like similar but separate types of customers.
Different clientele.
BMW, you would still get the person that would come in with a 1994 clapped out Integra. In their case, it was a 1994 clapped out 3 Series.
Dude, hard pass.
And
Hard
it was
pass.
it was the 10,000th owner, and we're the dealer. Like, it's gonna be expensive. Like, it is going to be expensive for no matter what you come in for. But there's a lot of value behind it, for sure. But so you would get a little bit of everything. Very entitled people, but for the most part, I'd say BMW was pretty good. You would still get people from all areas of the spectrum, but I'd say like 60-ish% were good customers, like good quality people, especially being in the Midwest. Coming out here,
Yeah, that is a help.
Coming out
Sometimes.
here, yeah, true. Coming out here to Phoenix and Scottsdale area, it's very uppity, very high class, arrogant.
Yes.
So instead of it being like 60% of those people, it's maybe like 30% of those people are like that.
Yeah.
And everybody who drives a Ferrari Maserati, I shouldn't say everybody, a very vast majority of them drive it for that logo, that look, that status.
It just which blows my mind, because I'm like, I mean, I don't know if you are familiar with, there's this guy in the Midwest that's really popular. His name is Dave Ramsey. He talks about money and finances.
Yeah, I've heard of him a few times.
and one of the things that him and his company did is they did this study of millionaires, and they surveyed like 10,000 of them, and they asked all these questions, and they got some really interesting data. And one of the things was like the car that they drive. And it was like 90 or 95% of the millionaires that they surveyed drove a 3 to 5 year old Toyota or Honda economy car. And it was like, the people that actually have money aren't buying those cars. It's people that want to look like they have money that are buying those cars. Like, you could generally.
You can tell when they come in as a customer who has it and who doesn't. I mean, I have talked with some of the wealthiest individuals in not only the country but the world at that store, and surprisingly, the people, there's obviously always outliers, but surprisingly, like some of the ones that have the absolute most, you'd never know it. I had one customer, I'm not gonna mention his name, but probably 40 to 50 of them Ferraris, like insane collection, and he would show up every day, or not every day, every appointment visit for whatever car it was, in a t-shirt and jeans, in a GMC pickup truck, and he just looked like an average dude, but really like hundreds of billions of dollar net worth. Like he could buy everything you can see in cash and not even feel it come out of his bank account. Like money that you and I can't even like wrap our heads around. And you know, and the crazy thing is, like, it's like the people that don't have that but want to. I don't even get it. Like, they want to feel like everybody looks at them like they have money, that go and buy a Maserati. I mean, I worked in about 45 minutes the other direction. I worked in Goodyear, which is like the other side of Phoenix from you. And we had a couple of clients that brought Maseratis in, and it was like they were like presumably the cheapest Maserati that is made, and it's like some old Ghibli or Quattroporte.
It's a low class 4-door sedan. Like, there's nothing like special about it except that logo, and they're really expensive to fix.
Really expensive for everything, and their manufacturer, like the manufacturer itself, is horrible. Like, they discontinue parts all the time, don't provide you with anything. Like, the actual dealer or manufacturer to dealer experience is actually pretty bad. BMW was great. Ferrari, Maserati.
I've heard. Yeah, I've heard that, like, the dealer to manufacturer, which is, I come from a world of I've only ever worked in the independent automotive aftermarket, so I've never worked for a dealership.
Yep.
But yeah,
so
if I don't ever work on one of those again, it'll be too soon.
I was just telling one of our other sales guys about, like, we called it in my dealer the trifecta of oil leaks on a BMW. Was always a big thing. He's like, what normally goes wrong? I was like, well, there's the trifecta. And he's like, what's that? Well, there's this thing called an oil filter housing on them. They leak like crazy. Yep. They go right down the front of the motor, and it goes all over the belt tensioner, the pulley, everything, hoses, destroys it all. So cha-ching every time, but horrible. Valve cover gasket, and then your oil pan gasket.
Yep.
Almost
And every single one of
car.
those is really easy and really affordable to fix.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Especially when you're
Yeah.
dropping a subframe on anything for an oil pan.
Oh my gosh. We tell everybody that we're the diesel people in town. We do
Okay. I didn't know
diesel.
that.
So I do diesel. I do like pickup truck diesel, right? So like your Power Strokes, your Duramaxes, your Cummins. Like that's kind of my background. My service manager is like his background is working in diesel shops. So like we're an auto and diesel shop, and we've got the tools to do the bigger, I say bigger trucks. I'm talking like big dually lifted like pickup trucks, not like semi trucks. Mm-hmm. And so this guy called and he goes, "Hey, do you guys work on diesels?" And I go, "Well, absolutely, we work on diesel. This is like we're 2 weeks into opening this shop." So for those who don't know, I think Dylan knows. I went out on my own and opened my own repair shop like 5. We're in month 5 right now.
I was about to say you told me 3 months ago.
Yeah. No, well, I met you at the end of
last week of
January.
Right? Last week of January.
Yeah. So we launched December 1st, 2025, and this was like the second week. It's a fly in here.
So right before Christmas.
Yeah, and I'm just like, well, I need money, like So he goes, "Well, it's a 20-something. I don't remember what it was. It was BMW diesel."
Dude,
and I was like,
they're so
he's like, "It's leaking." I was like, "Well, I can probably fix a leak for you, like check engine light, maybe not, right? But leaks, I can bolt apart on, right? Like, how hard can it be?" Yeah, so it was a valve cover gasket as well as a fuel line that was leaking. And dude, my first thought was 6 hours for a valve cover gasket on an inline motor. Like, I'm going to make so much time on this. Nope. Nope. I did not. That was terrible. That was miserable.
What was it? Probably an X5 then? Was it an SUV?
That sounds right. Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
Probably the X5. Yeah. That was a very popular
I try to like block those memories out and not think about them.
There was the X5 diesel, and they don't even sell them in the States or make them in the States anymore. And then there was a 328D. So there's a 328i, the 328iX, and then the 328D.
This might have been a 328D. I don't know. I feel like it was like something D was like and it was some big long. I don't know, dude.
Yeah,
I'm sure I could go find it, but
yeah, it would either been a 4-door sedan or a 4-door SUV, one of the two. So.
It had 4 doors. That's all I remember, and it was white, I think, or gold. I don't know. I don't even know what color it was.
What's crazy is I have such a good memory. I can remember a customer with a white 328D that we had for probably 4 months at the shop that never left because it was just constantly an issue for the diesel. Like, basically replaced everything on that car and still would never run right.
And yeah, it's oh man, yeah. I'm happy to not. I'm happy to not work on those every day. But
that's normal to me. So obviously I never turned a wrench, but like understanding it and knowledge about it, that's where I started. So that was the only thing I really know. I got to close my window here before the sun starts just absolutely beating into my eyes. Well, cool. We talked about a few things. I got a few questions lined up.
Oh boy.
Kind of narrows right into this. So like, how did you get into the automotive field? You mentioned you
fixing lawnmowers, my guy.
You've always been in the independent world. Is that really how you did it? Got into?
Yeah. So well, I mean, like that is like the technical how I got started, which was I was like little, man. I was probably like 12 or 13 years old. Okay. Grew up on a small kind of like hobby farm in the Pacific Northwest up in Washington State, and my dad bought this lawnmower at a garage sale for like $20 or something. It didn't run. And we brought it home, and he looked at me, and he's like, "I'll give you $10 if you can make it run, and I'll buy whatever parts you need me to." It was like, I mean, as a 12-year-old,
had to figure it out.
$10 is a lot of money. Like, we'll figure it out. And I took it apart, and I think I put a head gasket on it, and I don't remember. Like, it did run, and I got my $10, and I was like, okay, that was kind of cool. Like taking something that doesn't work and making it work. Like that's I found a lot of personal satisfaction in that. And then I was doing some work for this other guy that I knew, just some landscaping work, and he had this old 89 Toyota pickup sitting there. And I was like 14, 15. And I was like, hey, man, what are you going to do with that? And he's like, oh, it's got a blown head gasket. I'm going to fix it and sell it. I was like, well, would you sell it to me for cheaper before fixing it? And he was like, sure. Like, and I think I paid like $200 for this thing, right? And it was super clean other than needing a head gasket. Mm-hmm. And like my dad brought out his trailer and we drug it home and pushed it into the barn, and I took the head off, and that was not the problem. And then I got to learn a good lesson about why we should test things before we start replacing parts. And it was just like line by line through a Haynes manual, man. Like, okay, step 1, remove the intake. There's 8 bolts. Okay, I took the 8 bolts out of the intake. Now what? Okay, step 2, disconnect this. Like, and that's how I got started. And it was the thrill when that truck started and drove out, which took a very long time, was just like I enjoyed it. And I was like, all right, this is kind of cool. And I started fixing, worked on my own cars. I don't know, probably a year or two after that. It was like my dad drove our family van. So I'm one of 12 kids.
Holy moly.
I'm going to ramble a lot. So just like interrupt me when you have questions.
Dude, no, you're good. I love it.
So we had a 15 passenger Chevy Express van, like a 1-ton diesel van. It was like 2001, and drum brakes in the back. They're kind of a pain. It needed brakes. My dad took it to some shop in town, and they quoted him like $800 in labor to do the brakes on this thing.
Jesus.
And so my dad is like, hey man, I'll give you $400 if you can do the brakes on this thing. And I went, holy crap, that's a lot of money. Like, I will figure this thing out. And it was a pain, and I struggled a lot, but like, I got it done. Yeah. Fighting springs and like none of the right tools, and this was like before YouTube, right? So this was just like figure it out. There was I didn't have the internet to help me because we lived out in the middle of nowhere, and we didn't have internet until I was much older, and even then it wasn't reliable.
Good. Yeah. So
that's kind of where I started, and then I kind of took a break from like working professionally in the automotive industry. Actually, let's back up. Coming out of high school, I was like, I thought I wanted to build robots. Like mechanical engineering is where I wanted to go. So I was on a robotics team in high school. We went and we placed, I think it was like 9th worldwide. Our team did. So like we did really well. So that was like, I loved that. That was incredible. But it was like fixing mechanical problems. Like that's what I enjoyed.
Yeah.
And then I started looking at how much college would cost, and I was like, that's a lot of money, like a lot of money. And I was like, you know what? I just want to go get a job. Just go do something. I want to make some money right now. And so I started out. I started out doing like computer aided design for an industrial cabinet shop, and like kind of got into that, which was a little bit kind of the same kind of like mechanical engineering to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. That was fun. And then I got fired from that, and I'd always just started, worked on my own stuff on the side, and I got to where I was halfway decent. And then I got in with my local volunteer fire department and like started doing like volunteer firefighting. And then I went to school and I got my EMT license, and I was like, I like this because I like solving mechanical problems, but like helping people is really like I would say is my passion.
For
right.
Sure.
And so like there's no like emotional high like being on a fire truck at 1:00 in the morning with a light, as you're flying down some country road, seeing the lights flicker back at you and like the siren going and knowing you're going to help somebody. Like, man, I love that. I love it.
That sounds like a cool
I'm an adrenaline
feeling.
junkie, like for sure. But
I can like picture that in my head, but
yeah,
don't know if I want to picture actually doing it in my head.
right. Yeah, it's certainly not for everyone. And as an 18, 19-year-old kid, like, maybe I wasn't, maybe I was doing it for the wrong reasons. But yeah, I enjoyed it, right? Like I had a blast. And then I started learning like how much people make as a paramedic, and I was just like,
for the amount of stuff
that's crap.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, No, I want money more than that.
Don't want to be rich,
and
but
so
don't want to be broke either.
Yeah, dude, and like, yeah. So I did what any reasonable 18-year-old that likes cars and things does. Is I went and I like put myself through commercial driver's school, and so I went and I got a commercial driver's license, and I was like, I'm gonna go drive a truck. This is gonna be great. I'm gonna love this.
Yeah.
And so I went through that. I got a job driving a dump truck for a small construction company. Like, and it was great. I was making, I don't know, $20 an hour, somewhere in there. Like, which for, 19, 20-year-old kid, like,
it's great,
pretty
money.
good. Yeah, especially this would have been back in like, I don't even know, 2015, 2016 kind of area.
Where would that have been?
Vancouver, Washington.
Okay.
So I was still up in the Pacific Northwest at that time. And I get this phone call. And it's this like guy that I had known, some like kid I had known from like one of my robotics teams. Like he was on another local team or something. And it was his dad. And his dad calls me and says, "Hey, are you still turning wrenches?" I was like, I can fix stuff, dude, but like I'm driving a dump truck, man. I'm cool.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, I've got this mobile mechanic business going, and if you come work for me, I'll give you 40% of the gross profit." And I was like, I don't know what that means, but that sounds cool. Let's try that.
Sounds like a lot of money.
Right? Like, yeah. So I went and did that. And so I was driving a dump truck 40 hours a week making 18 or $20 an hour. And like nights and weekends, I would go and like I put a starter in for somebody in their driveway, and I'd go put an alternator in on the side of the road, like just doing little stuff nights and weekends. And I was making more money fixing cars than I was driving a dump truck. And I was like,
part-time. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, dude, imagine if I did this full time. Like I could make so much money. And some stuff kind of fell apart with the dump truck job. Myself and every other employee that worked for him quit all at the same time because he was kind of an ass, and that was that was kind of fun. But I was like, all right, I'm gonna go turn wrenches full time. So I started doing that, and I did that for like a year, and I was a hack. Like you're in groups, and we know you hear this term like. I'm the definition of someone that should have their tools taken away, or I was like, dude,
shotguns everything.
Let me tell you, look, I think the worst thing I sold somebody, because like as doing this mobile thing, I was the advisor, so I would like they would call the 800 number, it would go to a voicemail, I get emailed the voicemail, and it's like I call them back, I schedule their appointment, I go out, I diagnose the car, I find the parts, like start to finish, did everything. I was the one point of contact with the customer. And I get this one, and it was one of my boss's friends, and my boss had sold him diagnosed a starter, and it was on like a Jeep Liberty or something stupid. It was a fighting pain to get this starter in. Like it was a fight. And my boss sold it at this really great price, like a great discount.
Yeah.
That discount obviously comes right out of my paycheck because I get paid a percentage of the gross profit.
Yep.
So I was grumpy. I didn't want to do it. Right. But it was kind of like, well, you can do this or you can not have a job anymore. I was like, well, I guess I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And I get done with it, and the starter makes this hellacious grinding noise. Like when it engaged, like the car started, but it like started and it would like grind while the starter was engaging. And then when the starter let go, it would stop grinding. Ooh. And with a completely straight face, I said to this client, "Oh yeah, that's a starter break-in noise. About 30% of the starters that we put in make this noise. If it doesn't go away within a week, just give Mike a call and he'll be able to get you taken care of, and we'll warranty it out for you."
How old were you?
I was like 18, 19, like a starter break-in noise, man. That's not a thing.
I wish I would have said that when I was an advisor. I definitely said some things along. I actually heard one about that. Oh man, when I started as an advisor, I had almost no automotive experience for the most part.
Yeah.
And I had somebody calling in, and I don't remember why the conversation, where it came from, but they mentioned drivetrain or something like that. And they're like, "What's your drivetrain?" And I was like, "What is a drivetrain?" I was like, "Oh, it's your engine, your transmission, your suspension." And I remember the other advisor, like old guy, good old Chet. He looked at me and he just gave me this look, and I'll never forget it. It was like, "What the hell did you just say it was a part of their drivetrain?" And I got off the phone and I go, I panicked, dude. I didn't know. I just started
Started naming parts.
And to that day, I shouldn't say to that, after that day, if I didn't know the answer, I didn't say an answer and would say, "Let me get back to you." There was obviously times where I told them something at that time, but I tried to put forth the effort to be like, "No, I'm going to figure this out." So
right. Yeah. There's a certain time where you're just like,
I gotta say something. I gotta say something.
Yeah. Well, dude, and I did that like where I was the advisor thing. I did that for like a year, and then I met this cute girl, and I ended up marrying her. And her dad was a service advisor for this diesel shop, and if you ask him, he got me the job. If you ask me, he got me an interview, and I got the job. But either way, he got me in a room with the guy that owned the shop, and I don't know what line of crap I sold him on that said I was good at fixing stuff, but he hired me. I mean, it was $14 an hour, and it was great. And I made it to about the second day, and I was chasing something really simple. It was like a misfire on a Ford. And he's got the deal. He's got like the dealer level, scan tool and software. Like he has all of the tools because this guy is a professional.
Right.
And I was just kind of like, I just don't know how to use the tool, man. And he was like, what tool would you prefer to use? And I was like, I don't know anything, dude. I'm like flying by the seat of my pants here.
Yeah.
Dude. But anyways, so I ended up marrying this girl. Currently still married to her.
Congratulations.
We're up to 4 children now.
Wow.
So yeah,
Congrats,
got started early. Yeah, dude, it's a lot. And when you step into business, it's a lot because there's just so many more things to juggle. But having kids is great, and you'll get there. I'm excited for you,
dude. I don't know what you do. You keep teeing yourself up for my questions.
Sorry, I'm good at that.
Perfect. So brand new shop. What's it like navigating that? Like you're a shop owner. How do you navigate running your own business? Still making time for now a beautiful wife and 4 beautiful children, friends.
You're assuming they're beautiful. I guess we're friends on Facebook. You've probably seen pictures, but
I think I've seen a couple pictures. But what am I going to tell you to your face? Oh yeah, your kids are just freaking.
Dude, when we were new parents, we legitimately were like, what if our kid's funny looking and nobody tells us? Because like as the parents, like of course you think your kid's adorable, right? Yeah. But like there's some kids that are like legitimately funny looking. We're like,
you look at a baby and you're like, yeah, I don't know. Like, let me check back in 15 years when they hit puberty, and we'll discuss.
Yeah.
Dude, I was that kid. I think I still am that kid. I'm the kid that was the ugly looking baby for sure. Or maybe it was the opposite. Maybe I was a good looking baby and then turned out to be the ugly looking guy. Maybe that's what it was.
I don't know. The beard makes up for it. Like I
have to have it because other than that, it's just nothing. So what's it like navigating all that? How do you, especially transitioning to jumping out on your own, you are now providing for yourself and your family by using your own business and not relying on somebody else.
And at this moment, I have 2. So
didn't even think about this.
Okay, I have 2 other employees. So right now it's. Well, here's the other scary part. So I started out from day one. I had a guy that started with me from day one. So I hired a service advisor. We call him a service manager because I pay him a salary and I have to call him a manager. So he's managing service.
Yeah.
He's a service writer with like a few extra responsibilities. Like
makes sense.
There's not a lot of management here because there's not that much to manage. Like he'll get there and that is his skill set. Like I'm not demeaning his skill set at all.
No.
And he's my father-in-law. So
I didn't know
it's
that.
not
That's
just
cool.
I'm responsible for like it's not just my family because my wife is a stay-at-home mom that homeschools our 4 kids. Although to be fair, the 8-month-old is not doing a whole lot of school right now. She just
screams.
Just sits there and looks cute. Yeah, like it's great. So like it's like my family is depending on this business to be successful. My wife's parents are depending on this business to be successful, and this other guy that I hired, like him and his wife are dependent on this business to be successful. Like as we've like added people to the team, it's like there's more and more people that are counting on like me not fucking this up, which is a lot of responsibility. And like there's honestly, I just don't think about it because like it's just a lot of weight.
One day at a time, one stepping stone at a time kind of mentality.
Yeah, and it's like it's not that I'm like afraid of thinking about it. It's just like in my head, the attitude that I've come in with this is that because like to do this, well, we'll I don't know. We're gonna be here all night, dude. This is ridiculous. When we moved to Missouri and we built a house, we had a general contractor who stole about $120,000 from us. So when we sold our house in Arizona, most of the equity, most of the money we made on that deal was all stolen by this guy and a couple of his subs.
From you personally? Like you?
From me personally.
Holy moly.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm the definition of drowning in debt, but not because I went and got a degree in underwater basket weaving, because I tried to build a house.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, I can't
if
even
you guys I was gonna say that's a story that's too long for this podcast. But if you want to see it, or if any of the 3 people that are watching this, like me when you post it, want to go watch the story.
So maybe 4. Like, count us 2.
Right. You, me, Brennan, and maybe your dad.
That's probably about it. Actually, surprisingly, the amount of people that have reached out and said, "I watched your podcast," and I'm like, I haven't heard from you in I don't know how long. Did you actually watch it?
Right. So I when I lived in Arizona, I started a YouTube channel, and I started just like making videos and posting videos.
I stumbled across that.
Oh, did you?
I did, because you commented on a video and I clicked on it.
Oh, yeah, I did. I forgot. Yep.
I didn't watch any of them yet, but I stumbled. I was like, huh.
You're like, I know this guy.
Yeah. I was like, it's been
I forget that like my YouTube on my phone is logged into my channel. And so like if I leave a comment on a video, it ties back to my channel, which is.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. Cause I don't know if back in the day, YouTube would like used to show like for the content creator, there'd be a little like thing that showed like how many subscribers each person had when they left a comment on your video. Ooh. So you could see like if a heavy hitter left a comment, you'd be like, ooh, he's got 1 million subscribers. Like I want to make sure I'm engaging with that channel. So anyways, I built a YouTube channel in Arizona. I bought a sand rail, and I was like, I'm gonna live in the desert. I'm gonna build a sand rail. And so I bought a sand rail frame, I cut it in half, and then I bought another crashed sand rail, and I took it all apart. And then I realized I don't actually have time for this. And so I sold everything and never had a sand rail. But I started a YouTube channel, and when we were building the house and we were having problems with this general contractor and all of the stuff that was going on, it was like we went for like months without a video. And I finally was like, dude, my whole life is consumed with like what's going on with this house. And so I just like grabbed my camera and like turned it on and just ranted to the camera about the whole situation for like it's like a 25-minute like straight through rant about like, this is what's happening, this is what this guy is doing. I don't even know what's like, just pretty much raw and uncut. Like and they're just venting, right? And that video did like 2,000 views, and I was like, huh, that's way more than my last 4 videos did like put together. And so the next week I made another one with like, because like some more stuff had happened. And then that one did like 4,000 views. And I was like, we might be onto something here. Yeah. I was like, this is interesting. And I don't know. I think it was like 2 more views after that where it really went nuts. And like I had a video that did almost 400,000 views.
Holy moly. And I didn't notice that.
Like, yeah, it got big. And I mean, I ended up like throughout the build process, like posting a video every week. And I don't know what the total view count across all those videos is, but they all did like 20 to a couple 100,000 views on them. And ultimately we ended up like, we built like framed the house, and then everybody ghosted me. Like my framer blocked my number. The general contractor wouldn't talk to me. And mind you, all these, I had paid all these people substantial amounts of money. Like, oh, we got to take a material deposit up front, which I didn't know any better. I was like, we're building a house. Here's the check. Here's 60 grand. Like, whatever. Anyway, that was a mistake. And so we ended up having to like tear the whole house down because it was built so far out of code that it was more cost effective to tear it down and start over than it was to fix what was wrong with it and keep building.
That's a nightmare.
Dude, you want to talk about a gut punch, like.
And how long?
Anyway, so like there's this whole series that goes through all of this and will be all the details, but I ended up like taking over as the general contractor, and I took that house from a bare concrete slab. Like I have pictures of it as a bare slab to us moving in 72 days, which for those of you that don't build houses, that doesn't happen.
That's quick.
Like,
yeah.
8 months to 2 years is like typical timeline to build a house. And
2.5 months.
Yeah. Now there were a couple things that we kind of cheated on. So like we didn't have floors when we moved in. It was just bare concrete. The master bath was nothing. We put a toilet in there, but it's like there's no shower, there's no sink. Like it's just a room, just a big closet. The countertops are made of plywood. They still are. And I think there was something else we scrimped on. But it was like everything that like didn't have to be there for us to move in, because at that point we were paying like a mortgage on this house and paying rent in this rental that we were living in. And it was just, we were bleeding money. We're like, we have to stop. So yeah, that was, I'm drowning in debt. We just got moved into our new house. I'm sitting in an O'Reilly's class. So back up. Sorry. This is all over the place. I do apologize.
Dude, I don't care. I love it.
But so I've known that I wanted to open a shop since I was like 15, 16. I was sitting in a diesel class in high school, and I was like, man, I'm like, all the guys like, oh, I want to go work for this company. And it clicked in my head. I'm like, no, you're going to come work for me. Like, I'm going to own the shop. And I mean, it's just me being arrogant, but like, no, I've always wanted to own a business, and it just kind of made sense that like this career that I fell into and turned out I was really good at, that like, that's what I would do. So it's like April. We're like 2 weeks after moving into the house, right? Mm-hmm. Like everything is still crazy. We're still living out of boxes. We're unpacking stuff. And I'm sitting in O'Reilly's class. It wasn't the only class I've ever walked out of. It was the one before the only class I ever walked out of. Yeah, anyway. But I'm sitting in class, and it's boring because I'm, at this point in my career, I would say I'm a strongly an A-Tech, and this was like very much like entry-level stuff. And I was like, I was on my phone, and I'm scrolling Facebook Marketplace as one does, and I stumble dude, I found so many good deals.
It's
and
crazy.
I've gotten into so much trouble.
We could do another whole podcast on that, even.
Dude. You know how many boats I owned 2 weeks ago?
Dude, that is such a Midwest thing.
3.
Such a Midwest thing. Dude, I found this sick boat on Facebook Marketplace, bro.
Dude, I paid $600 for it. Like, what was I supposed to do? Say no? Like, come on.
My messages during COVID, that was me. I didn't have anything else to do. I was like, I'm going to buy a boat.
Heck yeah, dude.
Never bought one, though. Anyway, so you're sitting.
Everything's a negotiation, dude. Everything's a
100%. It's fun. That's my human interaction for the day.
Yeah, dude.
Haggling and lowballing people on Facebook Marketplace.
Dude, I did it to a guy over the weekend. I was like, he's got an F-250 that he's selling. And it's like, but like he took it apart 3 years ago, couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. Now he's selling it in pieces, and he says all the parts are there except for like the alternator and the batteries, which weird combo to be missing. It was his friend's truck, and his friend took it somewhere, and they told him what was wrong with it, and then he said no and brought it home and took it apart himself and then gave up. I don't know what the story is. The guy wanted like $3,000. He had lowered his price to $1,800, and I was like, look, dude, $800. Like, that's what I'm willing to give for this truck. Like, that's it. And he texts back, and he goes, $1,000 is the lowest I can go. And I went, I'll get back to you. I haven't gotten back to him yet, because after that text, I went back and looked through the pictures, and it's got like manual crank windows, and I'm like, nope, I'm out.
Never mind. Yeah.
Never mind. But anyways, I was scrolling Facebook Marketplace, and I saw this listing for a 1-bedroom apartment, and it was a picture of a shop, and I was like, that's interesting. Yeah. And in the listing, it goes, it asks for a title of this thing, and it's not an apartment. This is a commercial building for lease. And I was like looking through the pictures, and I was like, okay, it's 4 bays. It said it was in Ozark, in this town that I've known. This is like where this building that I'm sitting in is roughly the middle of one of the highest earning zip codes in the state. Like, there's a lot of money here. And I was like, this is where I want to be, because like my goal is to not be the cheap guy in town. I want to be the best guy in town, and I want to be able to charge a premium for our service as well as pay my people really well.
Yeah.
And I can't pay people really well if there's not big dollars coming in. So I was like, this is where I've kind of been, and I've been casually looking for real estate, knowing I wanted to start a shop here, and this comes up. And so I'm in this class that my boss paid for. Love my old boss, so he's great. And I'm like texting this guy, like, hey man, when can I come look at this thing? Where is this thing? Like, give me the address. Like,
yeah.
And so I ended up going and looking at it like after work the next week, and I walked through, and I was like, dude, it's 4 bays. It's got a halfway decent office. I'm like,
this could be it.
This could work. Like, this could, like, and my plan had been like next spring. Like spring of 26 is when I was like planning to start, and this was like late April, early May of 25.
About a year ago now.
Yeah, and yeah, dude, we're coming up on a year ago that I first walked through this building. That's crazy. It's wild.
Time flies.
And I was like,
fun.
Dude, yeah. And so I'm talking to my wife, and I'm like, dude, this building, like we could make a go of this. Like we got a shot here. And we kind of like looked at our finances, and we were in a construction loan, which then has like a balloon payment at the end, and you have to like refinance it into a traditional like mortgage loan.
Yeah.
And the problem is, once you're self-employed, they want 2 years of income history before you can get a loan for anything. Oh. So it was like, if we start this business before we get this loan thing figured out, we are going to have a $400,000 balloon payment due on the house that we can't pay, and there's no way to finance it, and we're going to lose the house. So we're like, okay, we just can't do it right now. Something else will come up. So I told the guys, like, hey, man, you know, I've crunched the numbers. I've looked at everything. There's just no way I can make it work right now. Really appreciate your time, whatever. But like that like got me thinking. And so like I started meeting with people from like, there's a group that's funded by grants from the federal government called the Small Business Development Center. And so there's these like experts in business that are available to consult and coach you through things, and it's all free.
Okay.
Like they're like, small business is the backbone of the U.S. economy, and so we want to help small businesses grow and like help you start right so that you can actually like be successful.
I love that.
And so I started like meeting with a coach from there, and like, you know, okay, what does a business plan actually look like? What do financials actually look like? What do the numbers have to be to actually like make this thing work? And I was like, all right, like this is like, I didn't get the building, but that was like the push I needed to like actually be serious about starting this. And so I'm doing stuff, and it's like, it's now into August, and I like just texted the guy, and I was like, hey man, you know, I'd love to just like sit, like go get lunch with you. Like I just, cause like the guy that was the listing agent is like real nice guy. He was like this big, well-known like real estate agent in the area. And I was like, hey, I just want to pick your brain on business. Cause like, I know you're in and around a lot of business, and I just want to like, I'd love to just get lunch with you and just talk about business. Not necessarily like I want to lease the building, but just like, you know, get together for lunch. Yeah. So, you know, we get lunch, and he's like, you know, that building's still available. And I went, oh. It's like, It's like, all right, so.
Twist my arm.
Okay. You know, and so I was like, well, okay. All right, like how, like, okay, now things are serious. What are we actually going to do? And we ended up, we came to an agreement that would give me access to the building for 2 months before I started. And then so I got access to the building October 1st. And so it was like, I didn't have any money because we're still like trying to get closed on this mortgage loan, and like all these things are happening.
Yep.
And it was like, and I'm trying to apply for a small business loan because I don't actually have the cash to do this. And so it's like, we just like stopped paying on our credit card, which we run all of our expenses on a credit card and usually keep a zero balance. We just stopped paying on the credit card, and then I wrote this guy a check for $3,000, and then now I've got keys to this building, and it's like, okay,
holy crap, this is real.
Now this is happening, yeah. And then it was like 2 weeks later, or no, it was like 2 weeks later, and I was like, I gotta talk to my boss. And like I had told him when he hired me, I was like, hey man, I want to start a shop eventually, you know, but I got to get this house built and kind of get my feet under me and get connected in a new area.
100%.
And he was super cool about it, because when I told him, he was like, dude, that's awesome. Like, how can I help like kind of coach you through this? And, you know, you tell me when you want to be done here. Like, just, you know, tell me what day you're going to be done, like, and I'll keep you employed through that, which was super helpful because had he fired me on the spot, that was like a week before we closed on my on the refi on the house. And it was like, if he fires me, that's really bad.
Yeah.
So he didn't, thankfully. Shout out to Lee. He's a great guy. Highly recommend
job,
him.
Lee. You're a good human being in the world. There's not enough
he
of
is.
you.
He really is. He really is. Anyways, so yeah, then we just like, I get this business loan approved, which is like kind of it is a safety net, because the bank will give me up to like $140,000, which is a terrifying amount of money because I owe the other bank for my house like $400,000. And the amount of money I have in a savings account is zero, at least at this time, and
it happened.
Yeah.
So is your goal, I guess, now that you
to own the town? Yes.
Yeah, to be the mayor of Ozark. They have a whole TV show about you.
Governor of the state. No, I'm kidding. I don't actually have political aspiration, but I would like to be the most powerful businessman in town.
That was going to be my goal. Is it stay local, branch out? Is Ozark home forever kind of thing? Obviously, we don't know. Like, everything's unpredictable.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's at this point, who knows? When we first started this thing, I was like, man, I don't want to go multi-store. I'm like one location, 6 to 8 bays, like is like where I want to kind of cap out, and I can do what I want financially with that, and we can provide a good service, like all the things. Like I feel like I can effectively manage that. And then I got to thinking, and I was like, well, shoot, dude, there's a legitimate need for the service that we provide in our area. Like,
yeah,
there's a lot of crummy shops. There's a lot of shady shops. There's a lot of shady mobile guys. And so it's like the community really does need more automotive repair that's done with integrity, right? Like that is a genuine need in this community. And so I'm just like, shoot, dude, we could do multi-store. Like we could totally do that, And so I don't know. I think multi-location is probably going to happen at some point, but I want to be very careful in how I go about doing it because I don't want to get out over my skis too much, Mm-hmm. And that was one of the things that I did that was different in starting my shop than a lot of guys. A lot of like technicians turned shop owners, and the nature of what the company you work for is that you probably deal with a lot of those.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm as you get to know me over the next 10 years, you're going to discover that when I say I'm not like any technician turned shop owner you've ever met, I'm not lying to you.
What's crazy is I feel like one of my biggest skill sets as I would say normally just as like in my field as being like a sales guy, but even just as a personal trait is I'm a very good judge of like character and people very quickly. And even the first time I met you at that conference, for whatever reason, you just gave up that whole vibe. And I also could tell because at the end of, like at the end of every session or like a little class or something's going on, there's always like a huddle of people hanging around, like chatting before the next one, like drinking their coffee, just got to go to the bathroom or something. Every single time it was this massive tall dude and then a bunch of people around him. And he's just like the highlight of the conversation. So that was one thing I remember about you, actually. I don't know if I ever told you that, but yeah, it was, so I could tell very early on that you were definitely not like normal people for sure.
Yeah. I'm very much not normal. And like I like to think that's in a good way, right? Like,
yeah. No, 100%, definitely a
time
good
will
way.
tell. But yeah. And for people who don't know me in real life and are just watching this, I hate this. I'm 6'7" tall.
You hate being tall?
No. I hate being 6'7" because of what the internet has done.
This whole
my
stupid.
gosh, it's the dumbest thing in the
I don't
world.
have no idea
dude.
where it came from.
Nobody does. I did this whole deep dive and they're like, oh, it came from this song. But then it's like, there was this one video of this one kid that like did the hands thing, and it was like nobody knows. It's just like an internet. It's a psyop from the government. I don't know.
I think it's about gone. We're moving on to new things.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Not anything better.
We just do it in April 21st, 2026. And I think it started in 2025. So,
dumbest thing.
Question off of that, actually, I feel like one big thing, especially that definitely newer shop owners don't do, at least in my experience, is join like a coaching company.
Oh yeah, dude. I hired a coach before we started. Like I was talking to a coach in like August. And I didn't actually like hire the company until like November. It was like 2 weeks before we started. I actually like hired, and like I had my first like proper like coaching session. Like the first week we were in business, right? And this is like emails and texts and stuff going back and forth and phone calls, like getting all the groundwork ready.
Yep.
And yeah, dude, but that was, I think that has been like the biggest key to the success that we've achieved so far is I'm an arrogant hothead for sure. Like
I could not see
like,
you being
just,
a hothead. I could not see
well, not a hothead, but it's like I'm very, very headstrong. I guess it's probably maybe a better way to describe
that makes sense. I can see that.
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't think it's arrogance. I think some people confuse arrogance with confidence. I don't think you're arrogant.
Yeah,
you are confident.
I'm a very confident person. Sometimes to a fault.
Yeah, that's when people misconstrue it with confidence or with arrogance.
Yeah,
I don't think it's. If you can back it up, are you really arrogant?
That's kind of my point. Is like, listen, buddy. How many technicians turned shop owners do you know that were operating in the black by month 2? Now, month 3, we took a huge step back into the red, like $16,000 into the red for month 3. But we turned it around for month 4. Month 4, we were substantially into the black. Like we did $62,000 in gross sales in month 4. And
dude, that's freaking awesome.
That's fantastic. And we're in month 5 right now, and we had a little bit of a slow start to April, but like, dude, we're killing it, and it's not because I know everything. It's because I have taken and hired experts around me that know more than me, and like relied on their experience. So I hired a coach before we started. I hired a bookkeeper before we started moving money around. So like my books are clean and they're well kept. You know, I hired a tax professional to help me through like the tax side of things. I hired a payroll company, so I'm not messing up the payroll. Like as a new shop owner, I'm spending money on all of these things that a lot of new business owners are like, well, I can figure out payroll and QuickBooks myself, like, and save some money. It's like, I'm sure you could. Yeah. I know that I could.
Time is money.
I don't have time. I don't have time. And I have a friend who's a shop owner here locally, about a half hour up the road from me. And when he first started out, they were just running payroll on their own, like got a QuickBooks or whatever. Yeah. And they had some kind of an error when they first set it up. And they ended up not paying the feds for some tax wasn't quite right. And they realized it when they were doing their like year 1 filing, and they realized like they still owed the feds like $20,000.
Oh, that sucks.
And they were like, and they like let them know, they're like, hey, we screwed this up. We were off by $20,000. Like, here's the $20,000. Like, they had the money, and the IRS was like, that's nice. Actually, penalties and interest, that's $250,000. And it was like a small thing turned into $250,000. Like, I'm not exaggerating. This is this is what happened.
How do you?
And the IRS was like
20 to 250. That's disgusting.
It is. It's just, it's grotesque. Like there's no other way to. Anyways, so I was like, I'm not opening myself to that liability. Like, no way. Like, I don't have time. I don't know enough to know if I'm wrong, and I am not interested in fighting with the IRS. Like,
no. Well, then they're on your radar forever. I got hair in my mouth,
dude.
Beard in my mouth.
Yeah. So then when we start doing, committing tax fraud, like not that I would ever do that.
Yeah. Just a disclaimer to everybody.
Yeah,
nobody
real quick,
here,
you're like,
nobody,
no tax fraud here.
Does tax fraud. Yeah. Willingly or unwillingly, we don't do it.
No, dude. It was funny because I was talking to my tax guy, and I was like, hey man, like I'm kind of worried because like I got this. So when I went to the conference that I met you at, because it's a business trip, like all of that is tax deductible. And I was like, and I lost the receipt for my, like when I paid to park at the airport, and it was like $42. And I was like, dude, it's like, I can't find the receipt. Like, what am I going to do? And he looks at me, I asked him, I was like, dude, I got a transaction. I can't find the receipt. Like, I know what it was.
Yeah.
But I don't have the receipt for it. And he's like, how much money are we talking about? And I'm like, it's $42. And he laughed. So it like took him a minute to like compose himself and be like, dude.
They
He's
don't
like,
care.
if you had 40 grand, like it'd be a problem. But he's like, I don't even care. Like it doesn't matter. It's 40. But yeah, so like, I'm still in that like small mindset of like,
That's good.
Man, like every dollar, which is like good to be in, but then also at some point it's like, okay, we can let go. And then I say that, and I went out and I bought myself. I don't know if you see any ads for anything automotive related on Facebook or anywhere else. Have you seen the Viper chair? It's like a shop chair.
I'm Googling it. Like a Dodge Viper chair?
No. It's just it's Viper Industrial makes it.
Okay.
And just search Viper chair and look at this thing.
Oh, VYPER. Okay.
Yeah.
It's black and red little spinny thing.
Yeah, dude. But it's all like American made.
That's how much these things are.
Yeah. Tell our audience how much these cost.
I mean, the cheapest one I saw was this one's 600, but I'm guessing you probably didn't get the one that's 600. There's one that's 800. There's one that's 1,000.
Yeah. So I've been seeing ads for these chairs like forever, and they've got like the big casters, and they've got the wide base, and they're American made, and like all the things.
Pay extra for American made. I'm a big proponent in that.
Yeah. Like. And I've wanted one of these chairs for years, years and years. As a tech, I was like, dude, I want one. And I just want one. But as a technician, it's like, how much faster does a $600 chair make me?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. As a flat rate tech, like it's nice.
There's no ROI on that as a tech.
Yeah, exactly. Well, at least at the time. And so I was like, dude, I'm going to buy one. So I bought one. My as you can kind of see from my shirt, my shop colors are blue. Like blue and gold is kind of my shop colors. Yep. So I bought the blue and black one.
Okay.
And dude, life changing. I love that chair so much.
It looks sick. I scrolled through their pictures. I've seen this before because there's a picture on their website of a guy detailing, and I've seen detailers use or detailer.
Yeah.
Detailer. Yeah. I feel like that came out weird. Use it. Huh.
Well, this is actually interesting kind of side conversation that goes into like what you do for a living. Is like if you look at any of their marketing, any of their advertising, they're not positioning, they're not talking about the features of the chair, right? They're not talking about the cost and why it's worth the cost, right?
Yeah.
They're looking at value, and it's not just it's American made, it's all made with steel. It's they've got these big rubber casters that like you can roll over cracks and zip ties and extension cords and all that stuff with, right?
Yep.
No, what they talk about is your back pain will go away if you buy this chair because it has that lumbar support. And it's all about your physical pain will go away if you buy this chair, and here's why. And it's all about like, you're not thinking about like, it's a $600 chair. You're like, man, my back hurts. And how many technicians do you know that have back problems?
Every damn one of my
Every single one of them, right? Like, yeah. So it's like, it's a really fun, it's really cool to see advertising that's like very much values based, because like in this industry we talk about selling things based on their value, not so much based on the cost. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of places are really bad about that. And this one is really, really well done as far as
I like that.
This is the value this brings to your life, and it's not just please buy my product. It's really expensive.
It's kind of how you have to look at it as a shop too. Like, hey, this is the value that I bring. Yes, I fix your car just like everybody else's, but I do it right. Like, and you are going to have a good experience as well too.
Yeah, and my lobby is clean.
Yeah,
the bathroom is clean. It's well lit.
I remember I don't think it was. I watch a couple podcasts in the industry as well too. Shout out Mike Allen's podcast, obviously.
That was a great podcast. Although fun fact, when I was at that conference, I did get to record with him, which was super fun. And we made it through. We were 30 minutes in, and I just see his head go down and hit the mic, and he's just like, "Fuck!"
Oh, you
and
were
I was
the
like,
guy that
"Dude,
you recorded
what
half
happened?"
of it and didn't record anything?
That was me. That was me. 30 minutes just whoosh, gone.
That's crazy.
And it was the second 30 minutes was just super awkward and weird, because it was like, okay, what did we cover in the what did we cover that like we really want to talk about that again, but then also like and then we got 10 minutes into the new recording, it's like, did we already talk about that, or did we talk about that before that? Like it sucked. It was still a fun episode, but it sucked.
But there's this other guy, I cannot remember now who it is. I've never seen him at any trade show or event or anything before.
Does he have a beard?
Are you talking about the Jaded Mechanic? Is that the one you were talking about?
No, I was thinking about. Well, Jaded Mechanic does have a beard. Shout
Yeah.
out to Jeff. His beard's amazing.
Never
I've been on
met
his
him.
podcast too, but it's been a few years.
I love his clips. I would watch his stuff. God, he's like a bald-headed guy, wears glasses. I think he's in Michigan or something. Gosh, I guarantee you if I pulled up my Facebook and went through my reels, he would like instantly start popping up. But I can't remember his damn name now. But he was talking about like cleanliness of a lobby of in the shop,
Yeah.
and how like nobody thinks about at the end of the day when we go through and clean all of this to like when you walk in our shop, our everything looks good, and you don't walk into a Jiffy Lube down the street that hasn't been
A
swept
pigsty.
in 40 years.
Yeah, like
Here it is.
that's.
I told you. I'm gonna scroll through it and find it. Repair Shop Reckoning.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of his stuff. I haven't met the guy. I've seen some stuff, but I've also seen a couple of clips where I was like, not really my thing.
There's a few of them. Looks like a couple people that in the industry, like Tanika follows him. A couple other people couple of like customers and people I've met in the industry, follow him as well too. But yeah, there's definitely some very out there takes, but there's also like a lot of good stuff, and he's kind of funny too. I like it. He's very very potty mouth like me, which I like, and very outspoken. I think he maybe does cross the line. I'm not trying to talk bad on anybody. Maybe does cross the line of arrogance sometimes. But it's good content.
There's a guy that I've been seeing a bunch of stuff from lately. I think. Oh, let me Google. I'm pretty sure I know who he is, but let me just Google it so I make sure I give him the proper shout out. Because like, dude, this guy's fantastic. Yeah, it's so his. What does he do? It's Polish and Punish Detailing Academy. He does automotive, like he has like a detailing business, and then he also like teaches other detailers how to like build and run really effective automotive detailing businesses. But a lot of his videos are just like him talking about like business and like how do we take care of clients and how do we take care of our customers and like it's really cool. I've really enjoyed some of his stuff, but like I'm making my way around all of the big names in automotive podcasts. So I've been on Mike Allen's podcast once now. I've been on Jeff's podcast. I've been on Jimmy Purdy. I don't know if you know him. He's out of California. His is Shifting Gears is his podcast.
Oh, I know that. I don't know him. Shifting Gears. I definitely know that one. But
anyway, I've been on that one twice now, actually. Well, the second time probably hasn't aired yet. But what I discovered when I don't even know when I discovered this. I discovered that it's really easy to get on podcasts. Like most people are like, oh, podcasts are cool. Like especially when you see like a big one, Jaded Mechanic or Mike Allen or one of those, these big names. Yeah. If you're somewhat interesting and you're like, hey, dude, let's shoot a podcast episode. Most people are like, sure.
That's what you did to me,
right? Like,
I have what we talked about earlier, 4 followers, but
hey, and we're half the audience here, right? Like, that's okay. That's okay.
That was a big thing that I was surprised with when I started. As I was telling my wife, I was like, I'm tired of just sitting on the couch every night, not doing anything. I can do this like at the end of the work day or something like that. Take a couple hours off at the end of the day and not work.
Or in the middle of the work day because you work for a tech startup.
Yeah, exactly. That too. I was working at 7 this morning and then ended at 3. I still got an 8 hours in. Didn't take a lunch.
There you go.
That's
My
typical
man.
work from home.
Putting in the work.
Life
I like
of Dylan. No, I'm a workaholic. Unfortunately, I will probably end this podcast and do work.
Same.
I almost burnt myself out the last month. I had 3 days off in. I don't know. You probably don't get days off, but I had 3 days off in the last month.
That's a common. Well, I don't want to say a common misconception. Most most technicians turn shop owners. Honestly, at this point, I think probably the majority of shop owners that aren't the circles that you and I run in as far as like industry are like the top circles, right? Like the company that you work for and the clients that you work with are not the super grungy, nasty shop down the road that is still writing paper invoices, right? Obviously, you guys are.
Every time I run into those, man. Every time I run into those.
There's a shop in town. It's like they're, I don't know, 5 minutes down the road from me. It's Economy Tire and Muffler, and they also do some mechanical work.
Uh-huh.
And I had a client in here who was actually my concrete contractor who poured the slab at my house, and he brought his truck in here like our first week of opening, and we put a radiator in his truck. We quoted some stuff on his wife's car, and he had a wheel bearing noise, and we quoted him on a wheel bearing, and he scheduled it to come back the next day, and then he never showed up. And I like called him on. It was like he was in the shop for something on a Thursday. We fixed it, and we're like he's like, hey, my front end's making some noise. Can you just like give it a quick look? We looked at it. Right front wheel bearings is grinding. Yeah. We're like, hey, this is what we can do. This is a factory part. This is an aftermarket part. We'd recommend a factory, but it is more money. You want to do that? And he goes, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Like $700 or something. Put a wheel bearing on for an OE GM, whatever.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So doesn't show for his appointment the next day. Text and just says, hey, I'm busy. You're not going to make the appointment. I was like, no worries. Like, we'll catch you Monday. And then like he never calls back. So I call him and I was like, hey, dude, like I just want to make sure you're taken care of. Like I'm not trying to pressure you or anything. If you decide you didn't want to go with me, like that's okay. But like I want to make sure you're not driving this truck with a wheel that's about to fall off. Like that puts the public in danger, right? And he's like, well, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I took it down to Economy Tire, and and they did it for half the price. And I was like, okay, well, let's talk about that. Like, did they put in a factory bearing? No, they did not. Okay, well, that's part of it is we put a better part in, and we are more expensive. But the thing is, this is one of those shops. There is not a computer in the building. I'm not kidding. There's not a computer in the building, and like everything is done on paper. We had a guy in here like a week or two after that was like, I'm so glad I found you guys. I took my truck to Economy Tire for brakes, and they had the truck for a month. And he comes in and he's like, what the heck is going on? And they're like, oh, we couldn't read our handwriting on your phone number. We tried to call you and couldn't reach you. So we just, sorry.
Pro.
Like, how do you run a business like that?
The first, this is also another thing. The first thing I would have done would have been to walk out, open up the glove box, find the registration or insurance card, and be like, all right, where can I find these guys on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram to figure out how to contact this customer?
Right, there's something, or the registration's got an address. I'm not saying drive to his house, but like, what you could also do?
Yeah.
You got the registration. Let's say, because at least with my insurance, like my insurance agent's name is printed at the top of the card. Call their agent, say, hey, we're a repair shop. We've got so and so's vehicle in, and we're having trouble getting a hold of them. Is there any chance you could give us their phone number, or call them and have them call us? Like, there's so many ways you could go about not being terrible in that situation, and they just like ran right past all those and went straight to terrible. And we get it occasionally, like people are like, oh, we want to cheap shop.
There's going to be that penny that no matter what you do, they don't give a crap if they have that experience. They want to save the money.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
And that's like, I get it. Not every customer is my customer, and like that's okay. And some customers are going to say no. Mm-hmm. But so where we live, we are in a state that has state safety inspections. So every time you renew your tags, or every 2 years, your car has to have a state safety inspection. And the rule book was written in the 70s, and they did a bunch of revisions, and the last revision was 1986.
Jesus.
For those of you that are living in the current world, it's 2026. So it's been like 40 years since they've updated it, and it's a stupid system.
That was when you were still allowed to drink and drive?
Yeah. Like seatbelts were optional. Having a beer on the way home from work was fine. Like, back when America was America, baby.
America.
Anyway, so I've got this cool thing here. Hang on. I got this. This is the company license from the state of Missouri that allows me to do state safety inspections.
Oh, yeah.
I had to jump through a bunch of hoops to get this stupid license so that I can charge $12 for an inspection that takes me 30 minutes. Yay.
Yeah.
Anyways, guess whose license got yanked because they weren't actually inspecting cars?
Bet
The
you I
cheap
can
shop.
guess.
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing was like the word on the street was like they just didn't renew it when it expired because they just don't like doing them or whatever, right? And so there's like one official for the state that like is in charge of certifying and make sure all the shops are
going through
compliant.
everybody.
He comes in to get us lined out with our license, and I go, "Hey, man, what happened with this economy place?" And he's like, "I took their license away." I was like, "Oh." Because word on the street is they just let it expire. And he was like, "That's crap. I took it." I was like, "Cool."
That makes a lot more sense now.
I was like, dude, I just.
How do you submit those?
There's terrible shops out there. We had, as the company Facebook page, I definitely accused most mobile mechanics of being crackheads publicly.
That's so funny because like whenever I tell people where I'm from, like the town I'm from in Iowa, like per capita is one of like the highest meth and crack cities in the country. At least it used to be. Yeah.
What town is it?
Council Bluffs, Iowa. At least it used to be way back in the day. Don't know if it is now, but Council Bluffs, Iowa is very up there. It's either meth or crack or heroin or one of the three things that sound so fun.
Let's see what Google's AI says, because there's a town that's like 15 minutes down the road, and it's there's no publicly available data, blah blah blah. Anyways, there's a town down the road from me that's like everything is meth, dude. Anyways, so as the company Facebook page, like part of the things that we're doing is as a growing business is we are like engaging in groups to try to get our name out there, right? Because I am on a dead end road. I'm in a great spot on a dead end road right behind a busy road. So like nobody's driving by my business and going, "Ooh, I'll stop there for an oil change," right? Like I'm a destination.
Yeah.
And so I'm in all the groups as the company page, right? And I see this guy post, and he's like, "Oh, I need someone to come help me with my starter on my starting issue on a like 2001 Ford F-150." And I just hopped. Actually, hang on, dude. I took a screenshot of the comment because I thought it was hilarious, and I think that it's worth. Dude,
while you're finding that, as of 2026, Council Bluffs is ranked safer than only 8% of U.S. cities. So it means we are in the bottom 92% of the country.
That is hilarious. Okay. So what I said on this post, I said, have it towed somewhere, you'll get a warranty. Yes, it will cost more, but you won't have to pay for it again in 2 months. And with a real business, such as I mentioned another shop that had been tagged in this, or us, you can find them if there's ever an issue. If you hire a mobile crackhead, in parentheses, not saying all mobile guys are crackheads, he can damage your truck and simply block you, and you're screwed. Real shops have a reputation for a reason. We've earned our 5.0 star Google rating through doing the right thing and taking care of our clients. Be careful who you trust. Bad mechanics are way more expensive in the long run than good ones, right? Which, a little edgy, but like it's informative, right? Like I'm recommending another business. I'm saying there's a reason. Like, hey, we've got a great rating. Like all this stuff. So I'm out in the shop and I'm doing something because right now I'm one of 2 production guys, and my service manager takes a phone call. And he walks out and he's like, "Did you call somebody a crackhead on Facebook?"
Kind of.
I was like, not exactly. Like, maybe. And he's like, "Well, there's some guy who wants to talk to you." I was like, "I guess I'm taking this phone call." So
That's awesome.
So homeboy, I get on the phone with him, and he goes, "Are you the one who sent me a message about being a crackhead?" I was like, I didn't send anybody a message. I may have left a comment that said crackhead. And bro brought his truck in. He spent $550 with me. He thought it was the funniest thing he's seen all day. Like, he got a kick out of it. My service manager was like, "It's not really the image we want to put forward." And I was like, "Yeah, I know, but like, it was funny. It was funny, and we made money on the deal." So
yeah, in the long run, how many people are going to remember us for the owner calling mobile mechanics crackheads? So
right. To be fair, what I said was, don't hire a mobile crackhead. I didn't say a mobile mechanic who is a crackhead. I just said, don't hire a mobile crackhead.
That's true. Yeah.
As my employee correctly pointed out, most crackheads are mobile. Like,
That's another thing. Yeah.
so,
What's the first thing that goes away is they lose car, they lose that. Like,
Yeah.
So, yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
It's like the old saying, like I don't know if it even really fits, but you can't drive a house, but you can live in a Ferrari. Like,
That's right.
so as like a crackhead, like
That's right.
you don't need to have a car when you're a crackhead. You just have all that energy to run around everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it just never ends. Yeah.
I know you said you wanted to keep it around that 90-minute mark. We're about there.
I know, but I brought a prop.
Ooh, okay. What is this?
This is a twisted piece of plastic.
Okay. It's blue.
It's
Where'd
blue.
it come from?
So this is one of the joy. This is actually ties back into the crackhead conversation. Kind of. This is why I think a lot of people get all nervous about spending the money that it costs to go to a real shop. And one of the reasons that my shop is more expensive than other shops is because we have this crazy thing called insurance. And I pay through the nose for my insurance. Shout out to Cliff, my insurance agent. Great guy. We're also friends. We are now that he takes all of my money. That's not a one-sided relationship at all. I took him fishing, though, so it's okay. Anyways,
you're good.
So this is a piece of the fender flare that, as you can kind of see on that end, has been cut off with a Sawzall because it was twisted and broke because I hired a guy. I decided employees are a great idea, and I hired a guy that had no experience. Now, in this guy's defense, I knew he had no experience, and I was like, hey, man, like, we'll give this a shot. We'll see if it works out.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it did not work out. This wasn't why we had to part ways. He was not in a position where what he needed from an employer was an employer that had the time and the bandwidth to coach him through his early career growth. And I'm just was simply not in a position to be able to do that. And I was kind of hoping that he could be a little bit more independent than he was. I have this weird thing where I assume everyone's like me, and that
same.
like, and it's apparently that's just not how it works.
Yeah, it's weird.
But so we ended up having to let him go. But this is how I earn loyalty from my other employees, because it was a 2018 Ram 3500 dually. So the fun thing about a dually is they have dual wheels in the back. That means the back is wider,
very wide,
than the front. You see where this is going?
Uh-huh.
So the bay doors to my building are not that much wider than the rear end of a dually. And if you fold the mirror in while you're coming in from a weird angle because there's junk in the shop, and you don't fold the mirror back out, crunch, that truck is made of aluminum and plastic. I cut the plastic piece off. So that's not just a pop the dent out, put a new fender flare on it, and go. That's a whole new bedside. Whole new bedside. $75, $100 in body work in that fast. At, 2 miles an hour. Like,
that sucks.
But it was an excellent lesson in building a loyalty for my employees, because I had them back it out. I looked at it, and my first thing is I walked over and I called the customer, and then took it to a body shop. Because ultimately when something like that happens, my customer needs to hear that his truck was damaged from me, not because he saw a huge crunch in the side of his truck driving down the road, right? Like that's worst case scenario. Mm-hmm. So, and my guy comes up and he just kind of hung his head and he's like, am I packing my tools up? And I said, no, dude, I don't fire people for accidents. And and every other guy in my shop saw that I didn't fire him for that. And letting him go had nothing to do with this insurance claim. But my customer's truck with $7,500 worth of damage to it is now fixed and back on the road and looks pristine.
Yeah.
Because I have insurance, we can do the right thing. We can take care of our customers so that inevitably, when we're humans and mistakes happen, we can take care of those.
And so the mobile crackhead doesn't have to fix it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry.
There.
Yeah. Well, actually, it comes full circle. I got one more story to share, and then we'll kind of start wrapping this up.
Cool.
So, I'm not kidding. 20 minutes after I was scolded by my dearest father-in-law. Shout out to you, Mike. You're never going to watch this.
Your service manager, your father-in-law. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun dynamic at Christmas. Like, hey man, I noticed you sold that ticket for a low margin. Like, what's going on with that? Like, dude, can we just enjoy Christmas? Like,
yeah, pass the
it's
cranberry sauce.
Yeah, right. Not 20 minutes after I get scolded for this. And to be fair, should I have been scolded? Yes. Was he correct? Yes. Do I love him? Also, yes. I love his daughter more. He gets a phone call from a guy who's got a diesel truck. It's out in the shop right now. And this guy paid a mobile mechanic $2,300.
Oh, God.
And the mechanic has ghosted him, and he's out $2,300 because he paid some guy. And I was just kind of like, mobile crackheads, dude. Like, like I'm not exaggerating. There's terrible people out there.
The mobile mechanic thing, yeah. Like, I've looked into it because it was a big thing that happened at the dealer during COVID. Was I feel like every damn dealer under the sun started doing mobile stuff. But that's the thing too, is like whenever you see these mobile mechanics, all you're seeing them on is like Facebook, or they just have a phone number you call or text. There's no website.
Or my favorite is a picture of their business card. Like,
yeah. There's no website. There's no nothing. And I'm like, dude, who wants to trust that? Like, that sounds terrible. But then there's also a couple of mobile mechanics that I see like on Facebook Reels and stuff, and I'm like, damn, these dudes cool.
there's and I want to be careful not to lump every mobile mechanic into that. Like, when I was a mobile mechanic, I was a hack. Like, no question about it, I was a hack. If I didn't like you, I can just block your number. Have a nice day. What are you going to do about it? You don't know where I live. You don't know where I work. Like, I'm never going to see you again. Like,
yep.
You know, we're in a town of 6 million people. What's the chances I bump into you at, Fry's? Like, probably not, right? There are really, really good mobile mechanics out there. Like, there are really good ones. And there are guys that are truly passionate about, like, fixing stuff right and taking care of people. 100%. I think that probably 90% have no business working on cars. And of the 10% that do have business working on cars, less than probably 1 or 2% are actually running it like a business and actually being profitable. Right?
That makes sense.
There's this misconception that small business owners just have a money, like I just got a money tree out back. Yeah, it's actually here. Yeah, it's behind me. That's my money plant, and it just grows $100 bills, right? Like, that's not a thing that happens. Like, I have to work very hard for every dollar and try to keep some of those dollars.
Right,
is hard. There's terrible people in every industry. There's bad shops. There's bad mobile guys, but disproportionately, a lot of mobile guys are trash. Like,
that makes a lot of sense. I was trying to scroll through and find the one.
Check engine light Chuck.
I don't know who that is, but there's this guy, Trep Mobile Auto Care. He posts I believe he's here in Arizona, actually.
Dude, hard pass. 118 degrees. The pavement's 130. Hey, man, you want to come put a starter in on the side of the road? No.
So I don't know how much he actually does. A lot of his reels are all just oil changes. Here's a spark plug video. But his setup in his van is so sick.
Is it like a green?
No, it's orange.
Like it's a bright color. Is he the guy that's like white glove oil service, and it's like,
dude, he hooks up like a Milwaukee vacuum, like portable vacuum.
Yep. I've seen the videos.
Creates suction up top, and so he can take the drain plug out and not cause any spill. Then he squeegees the oil out of his pan.
Dude, yeah. It's like, it's incredibly satisfying to watch. Like,
like ASMR, but it's not ASMR.
Yeah, dude.
ASMR watch.
Yeah. That's the thing. There are really good guys out there. I am at a point in my career, in my business, and I kind of picked this up from a shop owner I used to work for. Mm-hmm. I don't see the point in doing mobile work, right? Like, the amount of risk, the amount of increased insurance costs, the amount of variables and things that can go wrong with mobile service, and
profitable, like extremely profitable, I should say.
The advantage is if you don't have a shop, right? Like, if your overhead is the van, right? Like, and the van's paid for, and you're just like, when I was doing it, it was me and a 96 Ford Bronco, right? Like, you open the back up, there's all the tools, like, and we just got stuff done. And that's all well and good. But the problem is, it's really hard to build that from owning your job to owning a business, right? Like, if you're a mobile guy, if you're not out there turning a wrench, you're not making money, right? Like, and that's my definition of like owning a job versus owning a business is like, can you take a day off and still make money? And if the answer is yes, you've got a business. If the answer is no, you just own your job. And there's the amount of stress and heartache and work that owning a business is like, why on earth would I want to go do that if I wasn't at least getting paid for it, right? Like, I was not. I know everybody gets weird about talking about salary, especially for technicians. I was making more than 6 figures turning a wrench.
Yeah.
Come in at 7, clock in, clock out at 5. Have a nice day.
Yep.
Right? Like, I was well paid, good benefits. Like, I had it made as far as like technician jobs. I'm just ambitious, and I wanted to own a shop. Like,
for sure.
I didn't open a shop because I was like, I hate my boss and I just want to do better. Like, it wasn't any of that. It was just like, this is what I want to do. And that's kind of thing is like, dude, if there's jobs out there that'll pay you $100,000 a year in rural Southwest Missouri, why would you go struggle through owning your own business and all the hassle with that if you can't make at least that much or more?
I think you're living the answer to your question. Like, why do it?
Yeah.
You get a lot of self-satisfaction. You get to say you did it.
That's true. I enjoy that. I get to come on cool podcasts like this one. And
you get to be on.
Talk about myself. I like
cool
to hear myself talk.
All right, let's wrap it up. I have one last question I want to ask really quick. Hopefully we don't go too far into it. If you had to give one piece of advice for not even just like your younger self, but somebody like maybe in your same shoes, who's a younger guy who's thinking about going from that technician into shop owner, or even not even technician, advisor into whoever into shop owner.
Somebody that's looking about making the jump from working for somebody else to working for yourself,
to owning a job, to owning a business. What would be your piece of advice for them?
Hire the right coach.
Cool.
And I am a huge fan and a lifelong client of Elite Worldwide. They're who put on the conference that I met you at.
Yep.
And I'm not knocking anybody else. I interviewed a couple of coaches when I was starting out.
Yeah.
Because everybody said this is what you should do. But I texted Mike Allen and he was like, let me introduce you to this Matt Lofton guy. He's the director of coaching for Elite Worldwide. And when Elite tells you they put people first, they're not like lying about that. Like, that's 100% they are a people first company. And I've gotten to experience that firsthand. But hire a coach, because yes, there is a ton that you can learn from just being in the groups and listening to the podcasts and watching the videos. Like, you can learn so much from that. But having someone who's done what you're doing before, like, they can look into your life and look into your business and see problems that you can't see because they've done it before, right? And that's the piece that I think has been the key to my success, and will continue to be the key to my success, is don't think you know everything. You know, get connected with a coach and a coaching company. Get connected with a peer group. I'm a member of the Midwest Auto Care Alliance. I've got a group of shop owners. There's, I think, 10 of us that meet every other month at each other's shops. I'm hosting one in like 2.5 weeks, and I got to figure out what I'm feeding everybody. But like, you know, well, obviously, I'm not a heathen, not a lizard. My Arizona friend in our guys group chat is his nickname is Lizard Man because he likes the heat for some reason. But yeah, it's about know that you don't know everything, and as the overly confident technician sitting on your podcast is telling you how great he is, like, understand that no matter how smart you are, if you get into a room of other people that do this for a living, there's going to be knowledge that you don't have there. And being humble enough to listen to that knowledge and to actually implement their advice, because coaching, you only get out what you put into coaching, right? Like, a coach can tell you, hey, this is where your pricing needs to be. This is how much you can afford to pay your technicians based on how much money you're bringing in. they can tell you that. And if you go, no, I think we're going to charge $45 an hour and I'm going to pay this technician $100 an hour and it's going to work. Like, you've got to take the advice. Pay for advice and be careful. This is something that I'm learning now as a shop owner that pays for a coach. And this is something that my coach had told me was, you've got to be careful because when you have a problem in your business and you go and you post it in one of these groups, because I always do that. I almost got fired for doing that once, but that's the next episode's conversation. When you post a problem like that in an industry group, you end up with 100 opinions.
Yeah.
Right. And honestly, of that 100 opinions, there's probably half of them that are good. And of those 50 good opinions, they're all wildly different.
Yeah.
Right. It's like there's not a one size fits all for anything in this industry. Like, the big thing right now is like everybody says raise your prices or whatever. It's like there is no one size fits all. I was listening to Tanika's podcast with Becky Witt was on her podcast a couple weeks ago, and I was listening to this episode. And I've seen a lot of Becky Witt stuff over the years. I have never had the privilege to meet her. I hope to someday meet her. But I was just listening to her talk about her shop and how she runs things. And it just occurred to me that, like, no, that's not how I want to run my shop. Nothing wrong with how she runs hers. But, like, it's okay. Like, there's more than one way to do this and do this well. Right? Yeah. And I genuinely don't think that there's one size fits all. So find a coach that aligns with your values and what you want to do. And then cut out the noise and listen to that person.
I love that.
If you're paying for that advice, use the advice.
Yeah. Don't take it in and be like, no, I'm still better. Don't let that arrogance.
Yeah. Oh man, dude.
It's human nature.
Don't do that.
It's human.
I know it is, but you got to fight it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, man. It's been a pleasure. I feel like I got to know you more as not just my customer, more as my friend now. So I really appreciate you hopping on. I'll end it like I end everything. I feel like we had some good takes, but some bad takes. Some good drinks,
crackheads,
poor decisions. And I'll end it with, don't be a mobile crackhead. I appreciate you, Andrew. Have a good night, buddy. Later, guys.